Hi, grade threes. We're here with our weekly check-in of our plants to see how they're doing. And we're also going to start an experiment today, so I think that'll be pretty fun. First, let's check in and see how they're doing. Now, remember when I told you that I wasn't a gardener and that I was a teacher? So I'm better at teaching than I am at growing plants. I might have killed a couple by accident. It was really windy the other day, and I left my plants outside. I thought they were going to be okay, but a few of them fell down, and some of them didn't live. So maybe it's because they fell down. Maybe I'm not watering them the right amount. Maybe they didn't get enough sunshine. It also got cold in the last week, so they had to stay in my house a while. I'm not quite sure what went wrong. Probably a mixture of things. Maybe they already weren't doing well and then the wind knocked them over. Maybe they didn't get enough sun from my window on those really cold days. And I also maybe didn't water them the right amount. Planting seeds is trying to make a living thing grow, and that's kind of difficult sometimes. So I hope you understand that some of them didn't make it, but some of them are doing well. So let's check them out. The ones that are doing really well are the biggest plants. As plants get bigger, it's harder and harder to make them get sick because they are already so strong and so big that you need a lot to go wrong for them to die. If they're little baby plants, if something goes wrong, they're only this big, a lot can go wrong. So let's check out my big plants. The big plants were the zucchinis and cucumbers, and look, they're still doing okay. So you can see that they're growing some new leaves here. Before they only had 2 leaves each. Now they have 4. Well, this one's got 3 and a little bud growing right there. So another leaf is coming. These ones are also doing great. Same type of plant. Not sure if it's a zucchini or a cucumber. I should have labeled them better. But that's me learning from my mistakes. But they're growing well. They're healthy. They look like they're falling over, but zucchinis and cucumbers actually grow out more sideways rather than up like a tree. So they're doing okay. I have some more of them, but they're all right. Next, we have our green onions. And some of them are living, and some of them aren't. They got a little dry one day, too, and we didn't water them enough. So you can see that some of them are fine. This one's fine. This one's fine. This one up here is still doing okay. But then I have some that did not live. So I made a mistake. I didn't grow them so well, but if I keep practicing every year, if I plant them, I'll learn better and better what to do to take care of them. Next summer, when I plant them again, I'll make sure that maybe I don't put them out on such a windy day. Or I'll start them a little bit later in the year, later in May, so that it doesn't have the really cold days where they had to stay inside as much. So I'm learning just like you're learning. Great. And the other ones are our lettuce. The lettuce did not survive. The lettuce, you can't even see that one. It's all little and thin and brown. They didn't work. I'm sorry. I'm not a gardener. I'm a teacher. I tried my best. And that's all I ever ask of you. So I know you'll understand that sometimes my best isn't perfect. And that's okay. I'm okay knowing that. So we've checked in with our plants. We're having less and less plants each week. Hopefully they're still alive by next week, but we'll check in. You never know. They're a living plant, and sometimes things go wrong. That's just the way it is. Now we're going to go on to our experiment. For our experiment today, we are going to be seeing how plants, even vegetables that you can buy at the store, suck up liquid and how it goes and moves throughout the plant. So you know that a plant has roots and that water goes up the roots and goes out to the rest of the plant. But we're going to see what that looks like in some different kinds of plants. So I have 3 different kinds of plants we're going to try out. They're all vegetables that you can find at your store. The first one is lettuce. Lettuce is the leaf of a plant. It has some stem in the middle, kind of like the main part of the leaf, but really it is the leaf of a plant. So if you go out and look at a tree, the lettuce is the leaf of that. So we have a leaf here. You can see that there are different kinds of colors in it to show different parts of the plant. So this lighter colored bits are kind of the system that helps suck up the water. It can go through, and the nutrients go through these, kind of like your veins. You know how you can see the blood in your veins? It goes through the plant and up to wherever it needs to. And since it's a leaf, this is what catches the sun and helps make food for the plant. Plants use the sun to help them. It's called photosynthesis. They take energy from the sun and they make it into food. I wish I could do that. I wish I could just sit in the sun and then not be hungry. Well, we're going to see what happens if we put this lettuce into some water that's colored. We're going to see what happens to the leaf. So I'll show you that in a minute. The next plant we have is some red pepper. Pepper is the fruit of a plant. It's not the leaf. It's not the stem. It's a fruit. Inside of a pepper are seeds, and a fruit has seeds in it. So that's how you know it's a fruit. Just like tomatoes have seeds in them, they're actually a fruit. Oranges have seeds in them, they're a fruit. Anywhere that the seed is, that's the fruit of the plant. So this is a really big one, and it's not going to fit in my cup. So I cut a piece out of a different pepper. We're going to put this part into the water and see what happens as well. So I just have the inside of pepper. I just cut one of these sections off. Chunk, chunk. It was a little bit smaller pepper, but this way it can fit in my cup. The last one is a celery, but the grocery store did not have celery when I went, so I will be getting a celery tomorrow, and it will just start our experiment a little bit later, and it's still going to be okay. So to pretend to have a celery, you all know what celery is, and if you don't know, go look up a picture of celery. My pretend celery will be this ruler today, because celery is long and skinny and straight. So I'm going to pretend that this is my celery for today. By the time you come back next week on Wednesday, and we check in with our plants and we check in with our experiment, this will be a real celery. It won't be fake. So I'm going to tell you what our experiment's going to look like. Here, I have a glass. It's see-through so that you can see the water inside and we can see the vegetables. And what I'm going to do is add food coloring to my water. Now, if you want to do this experiment at home with any vegetables you have, any fruit you have, celery and lettuce, I think will probably work the best. You can try it at home as well. If you don't want to, or you can't waste the food, that's okay. You don't have to do this experiment at home. You can just watch. But if you want to follow along, get a cup that you can see through, a glass, or if you can't see through it, it's not a big deal, and some food coloring. I picked blue because none of the vegetables I'm using are blue. If I use red, you're not going to be able to tell what happens to the red pepper. It's already red. If you want to use purple or a different color, you go for it. Make sure it's a dark color so you can see. Yellow won't work well. Here I have my water. I'm going to add in quite a bit of food coloring, more than you would use for cookies, because no one's going to eat this. It's okay if it doesn't taste great. So I'm going to squeeze it in. And then I'm just going to stir it up. I just have a chopstick here that I'm going to use. Stir it up so it's nice and even. You can see it's pretty dark, and that's okay. And my chopstick got a little blue. That's okay too. Now I'm going to take my vegetables and I'm going to put them in. And remember, this is a fake celery, but I'm going to get a real celery tomorrow, hopefully from the store. And if not, we can always do our experiment next week with the celery. So I'm going to take my lettuce and I'm going to put it in. But I don't want the whole lettuce to be covered in blue. Otherwise, it might just dye it. We're going to see what happens. So here's my lettuce. It's inside. I'm going to take my pepper and put that in. Again, I don't want to cover the whole thing. I want to leave some at the top to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to wait a few days. I'll tell you how long it took when we make the next video. I'm not really sure how long it will take. But plants can suck up water. Plants with a stem. The stem sucks up the water to where the plant needs it. In the leaves, in its stem, it needs some water. It needs to go to the fruits. So we're going to see if it sucks up any of this blue liquid into the plants. Now I have a fruit. Pepper is a fruit. Even though it's like a vegetable, it's called a fruit when we're talking about plants. I have a fruit. I have a leaf. And celery is actually the stem of a plant. So celery has leaves at the top. Celery has roots at the bottom. And this part is the stem. Thinking about what you know about stems, about leaves, and about fruits, you had that other video to watch. So if you don't know as much, go watch the other video that I sent your families in an email too. Thinking about what you know about stems, leaves, and fruits, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the pepper will suck up any blue liquid and the top will be blue? Do you think the lettuce will suck up any blue liquid and get to the top to turn it blue? And do you think that the celery, oh, it's blue right now, the celery, if I put it in, and it's a real celery, do you think that it's going to suck up any liquid and change its color? Turn it blue. That's part of your activity, is to tell me what you think is going to happen. We've been practicing making predictions in Charlotte's Web, and this is one of the reasons we've been practicing that, to make a prediction about a real experiment. So your job is going to be to draw me 3 different pictures. We're going to pretend that all the vegetables have their own cup. They're all just sitting in the same cup. But when you do your drawings, you can draw them in different cups. So it's easier to draw. It's hard to draw a pepper on a lettuce on a celery. That looks confusing. So draw me each its own cup. And here, I've labeled pepper. I drew my pepper. I can color it in red. But right now, it's just sitting. It's the first day. I want you to draw me what you think this pepper is going to look like next week when we're done the experiment, in the next video. So right now, my pepper is red. Do you think it's going to stay red? Do you think that maybe the part in the water will turn blue and this will stay red? Do you think the whole pepper is going to turn blue? Do you think maybe it's going to turn a brownie color because blue and red kind of could be brownie? Do you think it might be purple because blue and red make purple? Do you think they're going to blend like that? The colors are going to mix? I've never actually done this with a pepper, so I'm seeing 2. But you do need to tell me what you think. So color as much of the pepper, whatever color you think it's going to turn. So if you think it's purple, color it purple. If you think it's going to be like a brownie color, color it brown. If you think this part's going to be blue and this part will stay red, color it like that. If you think the whole thing's going to stay red, color it for what you think it's going to look like. And then you write, I think, you have to pick one. So let's pretend I think it's going to turn purple. I think the pepper will turn purple because, now I need a reason. I think it's going to turn purple because red and blue make purple. I think it's going to turn purple because it's going to suck up the liquid. Now let's say you don't think it's going to be purple. Let's say you think it's going to stay red. I think it's going to stay red because it's a fruit, not a stem. I think it's going to stay red because not all of it is in the liquid. You have to tell me the why. Your why can be different. It could be different for each one of these. You can tell me any reason, but I need a reason. You can't just say, I think it's going to be blue. Why do you think it's going to be blue? What's going to happen? Is it sucking up the liquid or is it just dyeing it colors? Like, you know, when you tie-dye a shirt, it just kind of turns that color. Or when you paint, the paint just stays on the paper. You have to tell me what you think is going to happen and why. So let's go to lettuce. I think the lettuce will turn blue because maybe it's stem. It's not really a stem, it's a leaf. But the base of the leaf is in the liquid. You think it's going to pull some up. I think it's going to stay green because it's not a stem. Stems suck up liquid. Maybe you think because it has no roots, it can't suck up liquid. I need you to color the lettuce whatever color you think it's going to be at the end of the experiment. So after it's been sitting in here for days and days, what do you think it's going to look like? Is it going to turn blue but still have green bits? Will maybe the white part turn blue, but this part stay green? Do you think that the green is going to turn blue? Do you think nothing's going to happen at all? You have to color it the way you think it's going to be and tell me what you think it's going to look like and why. I think it will be half blue, half green, because part of it's in the water and part of it's not. These are just examples. I'm making you examples to help you with your sentences. And let's go to celery. We have to pretend it's a celery, but I'll be getting one soon. Celery. I think the celery will stay green because it's not all the way in the liquid. I think the celery will turn blue because it's a stem and stems suck up liquid. I think the celery will turn teal because it's a mix of blue and green. Maybe you think the colors are going to mix together and change the celery to be more of a teal or aquamarine color. They're the same, a bluey green. I don't know what you think, but I'd like to hear what you think. So you have to draw 1, 2, 3 pictures. A picture of a pepper, a picture of lettuce, and a picture of celery, and what you think they're going to look like. And then you have to write 3 sentences. I think what's going to happen because, same here, 1 for each. If you're having trouble with this activity and you're really not sure what's going to happen, watch the video that I sent your families in the email. And really, if you need to, predictions are a guess, right? Just like in Charlotte's Web, it's okay to be wrong. Predictions are a guess here too, and it's okay to be wrong with this experiment. My plants didn't even grow. I forgot a celery. Or I didn't forget a celery. They didn't have a celery. So not everything works perfectly for Ms. Basberry. Not everything needs to go perfect for you. If your prediction isn't right, that's okay. That's part of learning. So good luck. I'd like to see these. Make sure you're done them before next Wednesday. If you do them after Wednesday, it's not really a prediction because you already know what's going to happen. I'm putting up my new plant video next Wednesday, so you have 1 week to think about what's going to happen and draw your pictures and write your sentences. And remember, if you want to do this at home with us, go for it. I'd love to see pictures of your vegetables. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.